Live from Sin City, it's the Socks and Pinstripes Podcast. And now, here's the star of the show, Diet Dr. Griffin!
Opening day. This is Diet Dr. Griffin back with another episode of the Socks and Pinstripes Podcast. Like, rate, and subscribe. This is going to be a complaint-heavy episode, so I'm just warning you now, and I'm also sick, so I'm a little crabby today. I love to watch baseball, as you all know. People who don't like baseball wouldn't be recording a baseball-themed podcast. So, opening day was yesterday, and I ended up breaking my boycott of the Boston Red Sox. And it's not because I had some inkling sensation about watching the Boston Red Sox play yesterday. No, it's about these stupid MLB blackouts. Now, blackouts are generally what happens when you are in a specific market, like let's say you're in Boston, okay, or you're in Massachusetts. You're generally going to be restricted from any of the Red Sox games because the people think that you're supposed to go. So when you have like MLB TV, which is what I have, and you're in Massachusetts, you are blacked out of the Red Sox games. You have to actually get NESN through your cable provider or pay for it directly. As you know from the loving character that sings my theme song, I live in Las Vegas. And do you want to take a wild guess at how many teams are claimed as the home market for Las Vegas? 6. That's right, 6 MLB teams claim Las Vegas as their home market. That means that we are blacked out of any game involving the following 6 teams: the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim of Los Angeles, the Dodgers, the Padres, the Giants, the Athletics, and the Arizona Diamondbacks. None of those teams are within 275 miles away from Las Vegas, yet we are considered the home market of all of those clubs and are unable to watch those games even though we pay for a full MLB TV package. I'm sorry, dude. I wanted to watch a live baseball game on opening day, and the only one available to me was the Seattle Mariners and the Boston Red Sox, because they're the only ones that played late enough in the day and that didn't require me to have ESPN, because I don't have ESPN right now. There's really no reason for me to have cable. I'm a cord cutter. It's kind of ridiculous that when the Athletics have signed an intent to move to Las Vegas, that we are still considered the home market of 5 other teams. Now, I could live with the A's being blacked out because, when you basically say you're moving somewhere, that should override the other blackouts. But apparently, until they actually show up here, which we don't even know if that's ever going to happen or not, because they can't seem to get their crap together there and actually lay out some real plans and not have something that looks like it was an AI rendering of the Sydney Opera House. We're going to be stuck with this situation where Vegas gets screwed out of watching every single West Coast game. So, yeah, if I want to watch some live baseball and the only option is the Mariners and the Red Sox for the next couple of days, you know what? I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to enjoy being able to watch baseball. And it also happens that I am going to be going to Anaheim this week on a business trip. And I will be attending the Angels opening day. You want to guess who they're playing this week? The Red Sox. So, my suspension is temporarily on hold until after next Friday, when I will be attending live the Red Sox and the Angels of Anaheim of Los Angeles' home opener, which I managed to get tickets for a ridiculously cheap price. It's kind of sad when the tickets in the aftermarket are cheaper than the tickets that you can buy directly from MLB.com. Yeah. So, let's talk more about those Angels there and their opening day performance, because Mike Trout hit the first home run of opening day. Opening day, not like the first game of the season when Mookie Betts hit a home run. But Mike Trout hit a home run and the Angels went up 1-0. And then next thing you know, it's 11-1 Baltimore. It reminds me of when I was a kid and I was at the arcade playing Street Fighter 2, and there was this older kid there who kicked my butt in the first round. And then my dad was there, and he would say, just let him win round 2. And so the little guy would let me win round 2. And then he would proceed to kick my butt round 3. That's what it felt like. Mike Trout got his one, and then Corbin Burns was like, you're not getting any more. And he proceeded to mow them down and had 11 strikeouts on opening day. Excellent performance for the former Cy Young winner and one of the odds-on favorites for the Cy Young this season. Speaking of excellent performances, the Arizona Diamondbacks, they had a 14-run inning yesterday. Oh, man. They smacked the pants off of the Rockies, and they never had a shot. I mean, the Rockies are already one of the worst teams in baseball, and I'm not seeing much hope for them this year. The Diamondbacks also made news because they signed Jordan Montgomery. They got him for a 2-year, $50 million contract. Basically, it's 1 year, 25, and then if Montgomery makes 10 starts, the 25-year is a vested option, and he is able to opt out, of course, after the season, because all of Boris's clients this year could not land the big contract. Well, at least the big four. I mean, he got Jun-Ho Lee $115 million somehow, but he couldn't get, Matt Chapman and Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery and, Cody Bellinger, the people who might have actually been worthy of contracts worth $115 million, that amount of money. So Boris is kind of washed right now, and if I was Corbin Burns or even Juan Soto or Pete Alonso, I might be a little nervous about being represented by him going into this offseason. We also had 2 rainouts on opening day, with the Mets and Brewers home opener, along with the Phillies and the Braves not getting to play on opening day. And it just begs the question, why do they even bother starting these teams on the East Coast with their opening days? Why can't they just start everybody on the West Coast or in dome stadiums? It just seems like this is a problem every single year, and they do nothing to fix it. I mean, you had the Angels in Baltimore. The Angels should be at home always to start the season, while these teams that don't have dome stadiums have to just wait a week and a half for their seasons to start, because baseball is one of these weird sports where the Thursday home opener means that you can't have a game the next day because they have to plan for the rainout. It is completely ridiculous that you have the start of the season and then you have a day off. You don't need a day off that early into the season. They just need to plan better. And, just make up the day later in the season. You don't need to have this day off the second day of the season. When I went to Detroit last season, I went for opening day, and it was the second week of the season because the Tigers were on the road. And I went for the Thursday home opener, and there was no game to go to on Friday. I gotta tell you, there is nothing to do in Detroit. Seriously, nothing to do in Detroit besides going to sports games. And I went to two of them on the same day because the Red Wings had a game that day too. But there was literally nothing to do on Friday in Detroit except try not to get shot when you're crossing the street. I mean, I couldn't even find the RoboCop statue when I was in Detroit, but that's a whole nother story for another day. I've managed to get more than 10 minutes into the episode today, and I haven't even talked about Shohei Ohtani and his press conference. And I use the term press conference very loosely because he basically just read a statement in a closed room, and they weren't even allowed to film the thing. And he basically just reiterated that, he has money stolen and he didn't do any betting on sports, and this whole story is fishier than Mike Trout. MLB is claiming to do an investigation, but they're just investigating finding the largest rug that they can so that they can try to sweep all of this under it and have nobody notice it. That's the plan that MLB likes to follow on these things. They put Wander Franco on administrative leave for another couple of months just to kind of sweep that under the rug, and they got Julio Urias, who everybody completely forgot about. And, of course, Trevor Bauer is another guy that they've tried to sweep under the rug, and Bauer refuses to be swept under the rug, and that's another can of worms that I really don't feel like talking about today because I'm crabby enough as it is. The Yankees and the Astros played a heck of a game yesterday. The Astros took a 4-0 lead, but then the Yankees stormed back and eventually won 5-4. I had Brad Presley on my fantasy team, and he's the one who took the loss yesterday. But the most interesting moment of the game was when Juan Soto gunned down a player to end the game at the plate, and it was awesome. Juan Soto is one of my favorite players, and I hope that he somehow signs with a really good ball club next year and not the Yankees, because I really don't want to have to be rooting for the Yankees ever and players that I like on the Yankees. Another interesting development out of that game is the fact that the Yankees jerseys really show their sweat well. And as I'm recording, there are images online of Carlos Rodon's sweat-filled jersey as he's pitching today. And mind you that the Astros play indoors. Just wait until we actually get to summer, and then these people are sweating their booties off. I mean, these uniforms, they gotta do something about them. It's just the amateur hour of these uniforms is over. And I know I just mixed phrases there. I am at the tip of the iceberg with these. And with that, I am going to bid this episode an early adieu because I would like to be watching one of the fantasy baseball pitchers I drafted, Bobby Miller, pitch. But instead, I am stuck watching the Red Sox play again, even though I have a few Red Sox on my team this year. I have Masataka Yoshida, Trevor Story, and yesterday's starter, Brayan Bello. So I'll see you guys next week, and I'll be recording on Thursday most likely because the home opener will be on Friday night, and I'll be at the game, and I'll be traveling back into Vegas over the weekend. So Thursday will probably be when I'm putting this episode out. Ta-ta!